Today's a big day for Chelmsley Town. With just 6 games remaining, we've finally got the opportunity to try and wrap this title up with time to spare. No point in delaying this further anymore, I'd say. Let's just get into it. So today could be the day. Chelmsley Town at top of the league, 97 points, 14 points ahead of Nuneaton Griff. We're both playing today. If we win and they lose, I believe, then we secure the title. If not, then we'll have to go to the second game today and potentially clinch it then. The 2 games we have got today potentially are Paget Rangers, and if Nuneaton Griff manage to get something out of their game, then we'll have to go on to probably Droitwich Spa afterwards. If we beat Paget Rangers and do win the league here, then I might probably skip to the end of the season and we'll do a end of season wrap up and, deal with the fallout of a couple of things that could be going terribly wrong. Before we get to that negativity, let's have a look at how we've been getting on. Chelmsley Moncrief still top of the goal scoring table by a long way, 74 goals in 34 matches, but we have had a slight problem in that Chelmsley Moncrief did pick up quite a bad knock. If we look at injury history, he was out for 3 weeks and he's still not fully fit, so I doubt he'll be playing in this game. He might, I'll put him on the bench. He might get a little run out. If not, he will probably play in the second match that we play today. We have had a very good run since you were last here. Obviously, we played Nuneaton Griff in that game, won 3-1. That, I believe, pretty much all but secured us the title. We just needed to hold on, and hold on we did. We come up against Dudley Town next, and they did not know what hit them. 9-3 this finish. I was really regretting doing the Nuneaton game, to be honest. But, yeah, only 16 shots, 9 on target, all 9 went in. Absolutely incredible. Everyone got involved. And considering we only had a 1.75 XG, this was a pretty incredible result. I'm not going to go through the goals because we just simply don't have that much time to sit here for 4 hours and watch it all. So after that victory, we had a 4-3 victory over Chelmsley Town. It's a very strong first half, and we scored very early in the second half to make it 4-0. And then they suddenly got 3 goals in 4 minutes, and it got a little bit nervy. But as nervy as it can get when you're comfortably top of the league. They definitely could have got something from this game. Following the match against Chelmsley Town, we had Coventry Copsewood. This was the game that Chelmsley Moncrief got injured. He did get the 2 goals before that, so you've always got to appreciate the man's contribution to the team. Even if he doesn't even make it through a full half, he still scores 2 goals. But yeah, pretty comfortable win. Coventry Copsewood didn't do a whole lot. They did get 2 late goals. We seem to be going ahead and looking very comfortable, and then just fall into pieces towards the end, or at least in the second half. Next up, we had AFC Bridgenorth. Shiloh Waldo with the only goal here. I definitely did struggle with just putting Sealer Conde up front. He just didn't do what I wanted him to do. Tyler McGee might step in a bit more there. I'm really not sure which one to go with because neither of them are particularly fantastic options. Well, in comparison to Chelmsley Moncrief, they're probably completely fine for this level otherwise. But yeah, we'll have to see how we play out the last few games of the season. Then we played Ashby Ivanhoe. Comfortable 4-0 win this time. Everyone sort of steps up. Sealer Conde even got a goal. Brad Binns, Sean Myler, and Shiloh Waldo as well. Not a whole lot to say about this. 4-0, absolutely thrashed them. And obviously that brings us to today's game against Paget Rangers, who are in 19th. Nuneaton Griff are going to be playing against Coventry Copsewood, who've just destroyed one of the few teams that are doing worse than Paget Rangers. So I am expecting them to get something from this and keep the title hope alive for them. But hopefully not. They're only 3,500 in debt. I dream of the days when I am only 3,500 in debt. The negative bank balance is getting a little out of hand. We're up to 56,297 in debt now. There's not a whole lot I can do at this point. I have got rid of a few more players, which isn't ideal, but they were unhappy, and we keep getting bids in for people. So Jeremy Aguilar has gone. He's gone to Risborough Rangers, wherever they are. Where even are they? So, the Spartan South Midlands Premier League Division. But yeah, he wasn't adding a whole lot to the team, and he was very much like a 3rd or 4th choice left back for us. So I don't feel too bad letting him go. He only played 12 times this season. I mean, he was relatively reliable when he was there with a 7.06 rating, but it was nothing special, let's say. Then we had Carl Robinson also leave. He was kicking off about not getting much game time. We had an offer come in from Chelmsley Town. Again, absolutely no money involved, but he just wasn't playing for us. He was one of the players that had by far the least appearances. So our squad is starting to look quite thin, but realistically, we could probably lose the rest of the games and have a reasonable chance of winning the league still. Being 14 points clear with only 18 points available, I suppose, it shouldn't be too hard to wrap this up. I'm a little confused. This might have actually been happening all season and I just haven't realised it. But I've just come to this screen and seen that Nuneaton Griff are playing Paget Rangers today. But they're not, because I've just gone on Paget Rangers' schedule. They're playing us today. There wasn't some glitch. That is not great form for them. I do feel sorry for this team. They're actually playing Nuneaton Griff in a few days. So maybe this has been happening all season, because I don't tend to look at this screen a whole lot. I tend to, you just see the matches coming up as you hit and continue, and you know what you've got coming up. It's match day when the team selection button pops up in the top corner. So with Kamal Moncrief on the mend, I think he's going to take the striker spot for today. Tyler McGee can drop down to the bench. I'm still not sure if I'm getting rid of him or not. It's quite annoying that only the cheap players are getting bids. Obviously, there's not many teams down here that are stupid enough to give a player £85 a week. But I really thought that Alambi John was going to be such a vital part of this team this season. And he has played 28 games, 2 goals, 17 assists. He has been incredibly good. But has he been 4 times better than anyone else could have been? I don't think he has been, to be honest. So I am massively regretting that decision. And I wish I could go back to me in episode 1 or 2 whenever I signed him and just slap myself in the face, because he has picked up a good... he's been... When did he sign for us? Let's actually do some math. He signed for us, that's 8 months ago. That's the wrong player, but he would have signed around the same time. Yeah. So, yeah. Well, if we say 8 months ago, it might be 7.5. But and he's picking up 170, £340 a month here. He's got the best part of £3,000 out of us. And he has not earned that money whatsoever. I hope that math was right, because I'm going to look like a right idiot if it wasn't. So, yeah. Either way, I think we're going to stick Nicholson on the bench instead of Tyler McGee. Kanina is injured. 11 days to 4 weeks, so he could potentially miss the rest of the season, but I'm hoping he'll be back comfortably before that. But, we should have secured the title by then, and if we haven't, I will not be happy at all. And that there's not a whole lot I'm looking to really change. I feel like I might switch Alambijan out for Finley Wood. I sort of want to annoy Alambijan so that he's more inclined to leave, so I might not play him again for the rest of the season. See if he'll get his back up, and I can sort of, work out, let you go to another club. I have been offering him to other clubs, even with the I'm not going to do it again, but even with like offering to pay like £25 a week of his wage just to try and get pushed through a move. He's agreed that he should move and has said he'll try and find another club, but nothing's materialised, and I think he's just on too much money for clubs down here, and the people that could afford him just simply don't want him. So I think this looks okay. There's nothing really standing out. I really don't like playing Kemp in centre back. He's he might even be a better centre back than his defensive mid. But in my head, he's signed as a defensive mid. And I've looked at this a few times, and every time I look at his profile, I think, yeah, he's bad at passing. He's not a great work rate, teamwork. He's just not great in a lot of key places to be playing in a more midfield role. But then, as soon as I go off the screen, the only bit of information that my head retains is he's scored quite a couple of bangers throughout the season, so let's get him up as far as possible, which doesn't make any sense at all, and I know it doesn't make any sense, but I just can't help myself. Getting into the match, Paget Rangers playing a 4-3-3, as every team seems to be suddenly. It's almost like they're all emulating us. We don't need to see our formation, we've just been looking at it. We've got any game sounds for this match? Doesn't look like it. If it's on off and back on, does that make any difference? No, it does not. Cool. Charlo Waldo picking up the ball here. Tracked back very far for that. We've got Barrel. Oh, no. Bad pass from Barrel. But Binns dispossesses them. Can he put something together here? There's all these really weird chipped passes out to the wings when there's no need. Rami. Oh, it's going to Siliconde. Oh, and Sila Conde finds the bottom corner. I was definitely not expecting that to be the case. That was a very weird. That found it. It was a very weird path it took to get to him. There was Wood passed it here up to Rami. Rami just walks straight through his player, tries to pass it in. It deflects off, butts. Drops the Sila Conde, and that is just a beautiful finish. Sean Myler here with the ball. A very long pass back to McConville, but this is an odd passage of play, but it seems to be working for us. As soon as I say that, it stops working for us. Devine picks the ball up. He's running at the defence. Back to McLaughlin. Is he going to do anything with it? He's just turned Wood inside out, but Wood manages to recover at least. Back to Yakubu. McConville. Kemp. Long ball up. Defenders should have got it. Rami somehow manages to beat the defender to the ball and then loses the ball, gets the ball, shoots, and doesn't quite score. So I was actually planning on staying on this screen until Nuneaton Griff score, and straight away Nuneaton Griff have scored basically at the same time. Not at the same time as us, but if they get a second one, I might pay a bit more attention to our match just to make sure that we definitely do win, because I don't want to drag out this title hunt any longer than it needs to go. Ooh, was that Myler? I think it might have been. That was a fantastic shot. Anyways, very nearly scored. I was just too busy thinking about Nuneaton Griff. Head's not in the game. Sean Myler, McConville. That's a wild effort from a centre back. Has he took it? I seem to vaguely remember him taking a wild free kick a few episodes ago. But apart from that, that's the only shot I can ever remember him taking, like actual shot. He's had a couple of headers from corners and stuff. Finley Wood in Sila Conde. Could this be two? Oh, it's off the inside of the post. Oh, that could have been it. Just to secure the victory here. Paget Rovers don't look too dangerous this game. Kemp, could you just like get your head in the game, please? You are bringing the team down with your little red bar there. Murphy with the long ball up. Cut out nicely. Does Rami get that? No, Binns does. Off to Sila Conde. Doesn't quite find a pass through to Waldo. Butts. Long ball up. That pass was Butts, to be honest. Barrel to Brad Binns. Down McConville. Long ball. No. Rami not through to Sila Conde. Waldo gets the ball and slides it into the bottom corner. Bottom corner-ish. Bottom corner adjacent. Does a little river dance. Absolutely fantastic. I don't think he's got any Irish in him, but you wouldn't know it from that celebration. Rami, lovely step over here from Sila Conde. It looked like. I mean, I'm not sure he knew anything about it. I think he was just like checking out someone in the stand. One of the 30 people here today. Oh, Coventry Cops would have just got a goal back. As it stands, if things stay like they are, there'll be 15 points to play for, and we'll be 14 points off ahead of Nuneaton Griff. So if Coventry Copswood can get one more goal and sneak a draw out of this, we could be in. Well, we would be in, because I can't see Paget Rangers coming back from this. Really, I'm not even looking at the score for our game. I should probably make a substitution or two. Hodgin. Ooh, just as I say that was an incredibly close free kick. Where is this going? Okay. Yakubu collects. That's nice. Who can we bring on? Let's bring Cameron Moncrief on for the last 15 minutes. Give him a run out. I think we're going to stick with this. I would quite like to bring a Lambijan on, but nope, I refuse to. Make a couple of substitutions. Is it still? I could never find it in this. Oh, Phillips got a goal for Nuneaton Griff. Actually, like 15 minutes ago, looking at the clock. So that dream is dead. Doesn't look like we're winning the league in this game. No. There wasn't some incredible comeback in stoppage time or something by Coventry Copswood. But as expected, we're going to go to a second game today. So it looks like the plan to freeze out Jane Lambijan for the rest of the season is maybe not coming to fruition. Finley Wood has picked up a one-match ban for picking up 5 yellow cards, and Button Forshaw has picked up a 2-match ban for collecting 10 yellow cards. But this one obviously doesn't impact any of our plans too much. We have got he was playing right back, I believe, in the last game, and it's not like we've got a shortage of right backs. In fact, that's almost half our bench. Couple more things. Congratulations to Bilston Town guaranteeing themselves a playoff spot. It would be hard to imagine. I suppose I was going to say it would be hard to imagine for anyone other than Nuneaton and Griff getting the playoff victory and coming up with us. But Bilston Town aren't that far behind, and I think it was. Did I remember? It was only because they had a horrible run of form here, where they only got 4 draws out of 6 matches. If that had gone a bit differently for them, they could very well be the contender that we're playing against, or it could just still be a 3-horse race. They've got a 29 grand debt. That's heartwarming as far as I'm concerned at the moment. Another unexpected rejection of trying to improve the training facilities. We don't have the funds for it. I know we don't have the funds for it, but I just know that majority of our team are expecting us to do it. This might be the first Brazilian that I've had recommended to me. Yeah, looks like from the people we've had recommended, we've had one. Where is that? A Bermudan player. One Northern Ireland, one Welsh, and one Iranian. The first Brazilian. That's sort of a landmark. I mean, he's not your classic Brazilian looking at it. He's it's not got much flair. Can't really dribble. Hasn't got a great first touch. So I don't think we're going to be going for him. I mean, plus also, we can barely afford the players we've got at the moment. If we can keep hold of the players, most of the players we've got at least, I think we could be in a good spot for next season. But it's not looking great because we might have to bin a couple off just to try and save some money. And I don't really want to fall into using like non-players, like generated players this early on, like when you don't have enough people in your squad. More bids in for Tyler McGee. I'm still not sure what I want to do with him. I feel like I might let him go because he has kicked off a couple of times. I might let him go and get Sila Conde to stay. Sila Conde is here for next season still, isn't he? Yes, 24. It looks like it is decision day for Tyler McGee's offer from Wallingford and Crowmarsh. Crowmarsh, one of the two. So if this was negotiable and I could change the transfer date to the end of the season, I would accept it in a heartbeat. It would not be a problem for me. It's just I sort of need the depth. I know Cameron Moncrief is back now, supposedly, but he's not quite back up to match sharpness. And it's always worrying when a player's picked up an injury that it might return. And I don't want us to have only Newton Sila Conde to rely on. Not that Tyler McGee is overly reliable, but I'm going to reject this one. There is another one that is going to probably come up for it. We need a decision in the next few days. So I think we'll see how Kamal Moncrief gets on in the next game because I'm probably going to put him. I don't know if I'll start him, but I'll at least give him a full half. He's looking okay now, so I feel like should I start him? We're trying to get him up to a goal tally. I mean, with 5 games left, he's got no chance short of a miracle of hitting the 100-goal mark that we would all absolutely love him to hit. But I feel like I should probably start him and just try and get the most out of him. He's basically our only consistently reliable striker. I know Newton Sila Conde got a very good goal in the last game, but he hasn't done a whole lot apart from that recently. So we have got the team meeting ahead of our final game before securing the title, hopefully. The team's feeling slightly positive, so I feel like I do normally like to ease expectations, but I feel like we should be winning this. We are massive divisional favourites still. So, as the best team in the league, we should be going for. I might go for this one. Shouldn't we be happy with how far we've come? Yeah, how far we've come. Comfortably top of the league and ready to win the league. What are you stressing about? You know what? I think I'm just going to stick with that. Most of the players are fine. I really don't understand why. Its team meetings are not really the best thought out. Well, it's not the best thought out, I don't think, but the best implemented thing in this game. We're still not listed here. Is that something I should be worried about? No, we're not playing today. That's why we're not listed here. That would make sense. Nuneaton and Griff did win. I'm quite happy they won because if they hadn't, we would have just won the title in the most underwhelming way possible. Which actually, looking at this, 4 games. There is 4 games left to play, isn't there? we've got 5. They've got 4 games left to play. We play 40 games total. Obviously. We're 11 points ahead of them. We've got 15 left. They could still get 12 points. Yeah, of course, yeah. I was thinking the next game isn't going to decide it for us, but of course it is. We've had a team meeting about it, and if we win, we'll have 3 more points than we currently have. That's just some bad math on my part. So here comes the game. Droitwich Spa, who are down in 10th. How have they been getting on lately? It's been hit or miss. They haven't drawn a game in 5 months. It's either been a win or it's either been a narrow win or a seemingly heavy loss. One way or the other. They've had a few convincing wins as well. They had a very good run of form there. But they've only won 2 games in 7 since. So let's hope we can take advantage of that. So as mentioned, obviously, Fiddleywood and Bottom Foreshore are both out. John Lumby John's been coming in. Oh, we've got a grey player coming in. This is how it begins. I pressed far too many buttons there. Let's lower. What's his stats like? Oh, he's a midfielder left. What is he compared to Waldo? Just because if this is the level of player we might end up getting a couple of. I can't compare him to Waldo, but I compare him to Wood. And yeah, I mean, I suppose these players like this tend to be quite well-rounded, but they're well-rounded. Well, they're not well-rounded; they're just rounded. They're bad at everything equally. So I think this is how we're going to line up. I really don't like that we've got Alex Lover in the squad here, and I really don't like that the only player they've given us here is someone who doesn't fit into our formation and is a player that we've already got cover for on the bench. Doesn't really make sense to me, but hey, well, hopefully we won't need to use him anyway. I think with Moncrief only being recommended 75 minutes of action, we'll see how it's going after, half time, maybe an hour, and then take him off, put on either McGee or Siliconde, try and get, maybe put Siliconde in the shop window, see how he gets perceived. Right, so Droitwich Spa are playing a classic 4-4-2. Is it possible to say they're playing a 4-4-2 without using the word classic before it? I don't think I ever have, at the very least. We're lining up. It's a pretty strong team for us. It's actually pretty much our full strength team, I believe. Oh, crowd noise. Moncrief through on goal. He's back to his best, missing the first shot of the game, just like we have come to expect from him. That could have been a big moment for us. 32 people here to witness history being made for Chelmsley Town as we look to move up to the 9th tier of English football. Waldo turns a player, lovely there. Looks about to barrel. Can he get a cross in? He can. Moncrief with a header. Oh, it's off the crossbar. Oh, that could have been it for us. Oh, I like that we haven't got any other games going on at the same time, so that I don't need to keep checking. Slightly over from Droitwich Spa there. I didn't see who it was that got the header off, but that was very nearly quite bad for us. Jack McConville here. Long ball up to absolutely nobody. So Droitwich Spa. Penny will collect that. Back to Kemp. Bins. Can't quite find Rami. Looks like the counter-attack might be on here, but I think McConville has got this covered at least. Out to Nicholson, and now we can look to do a counter-attack of our own. Brad Binns looking for Rami. Can he get inside him? No, he can't, but he does find Moncrief. That's a very long shot for Moncrief. You don't see that very often. Keeper just tips it onto the crossbar, and it goes out for a corner. So Waldo about to put this in now. Is that? Oh, I thought we were really good. I thought we were about to get ahead on it then. Rami into Kemp. Oh no, Myler, Waldo. Oh, can't quite find Moncrief, but it would have been offside anyway. Waldo slightly stray past the defender, it seems. Long goal kick out to Binns. Rami takes the ball. It's pushing forward. Is he going to try and slot someone in? No, I thought he was going to put Waldo in. Instead, Allenby John puts Waldo in, but it doesn't come to anything. To the cliff now. Back to Penny. Long ball up to seemingly nobody. Jack McConville. Barrel, long ball up. Oh, Moncrief. It doesn't quite reach him. Barrel out to Waldo. What they're going to get across in? Moncrief. Moncrief doesn't quite manage to score. Salmon's in goal. Makes a very good save. You're definitely seeing the difference in danger levels between strikers, though, aren't you? Jaden Lambie-John steps up. Can't quite do anything with it. You're never going to get a buyer playing like that. Yakubu out to Kemp. Nicholson. Can he get it round him? Yes, he can. Jaden Lambie-John. I always go with John Lambie-John. As if he's James Bond. Barrel. Oh, he puts Waldo through. Could this be what we need? I think that might be. Oh, yes, it is. Shiloh Waldo puts us ahead, and that could be the goal that secures Chelmsley Town the title here. Definitely like at least one more, but that is exactly what we needed to start this off. It was looking kind of nervy, with Moncrief constantly just missing chances over and over again, like he tends to do, in some games. But lovely composed finish from Waldo there. Great pass. And I think things are looking good for us here. Half time. So as much as part of my head is telling me I should take Moncrief off, I think I'm going to leave him on for a bit longer. His condition is completely fine. His injury susceptibility is above average, but so are a lot of players that play relatively consistently. I'm saying that I found 2 of them, but still. Don't give me information that doesn't align to my views, please. Don't try and correct me into making a good decision. Mylan, Nicholson, Rami. Can Rami find a pass out to Waldo? Yes, he can. Moncrief getting in the middle. Oh, no, is Waldo going to go alone? Oh, no, he's not. But Brad Binns arrives late and blasts it in at the near post. Keeper wasn't ready. I wasn't ready, to be honest. I never even saw him arrive into the box. I was fully focused on a pass to Moncrief or a shot. Where does Brad Binns come from here? Yeah, he's just lurking, and as soon as that ball comes loose, it just rolls straight into his path. That is such a nice little finish. I'm very happy with that, and I think this might be happening for us. Sean Myler now, long ball up to Moncrief. Brad Binns, tight barrel. Shiloh Waldo, run up the wing. Can he get a crossing, or is it just going to fall to another one of our players? Balls back to Myler. Rami, Lambie-John. Lambie-John puts it wide. Earn your money, you overpaid toss partner. I shouldn't say that. He has been very good assist-wise for us all season, but I'm more annoyed at myself for signing him in the first place. That's a very long ball, and this could be a goal for Droitwich Spa. It's at least a good chance. Not a good shot, though. Paul Yakubu, with a comfortable save, just gathers it up. Right, so if it hits 70 minutes... Oh, we've got a highlight. I'll check that out first. I was about to take off Moncrief. That's good. Well gathered again by Yakubu. So who are we going to put on? I think Tyler McGee. I'm not sure which one of them I'm keeping, but we just need to rotate as much as we can, which is, to be honest, not very much. But I would quite like to take off Shiloh Waldo and put on this Alex Lovett for a game. But it seems like a bit of a waste of time, especially with Waldo being basically our main creative force for this whole match. So the cliff with a long ball up to Hurren. That is a beautiful finish. Oh, that is not what I wanted to say. Oh, it's offside. The whistle had already gone. It definitely hadn't, but where is it? Oh, he's miles offside. I didn't see that. When some of the defenders you can tell are off screen, I always just assume that they're keeping him on. That is a scare, but a real relief that it worked out the way it did. 5 minutes left. I think this is happening. I think we've got this. And the champions of the Midland Football League Division 1, Chelmsley Town. Oh, I'm so happy that this season went as well as it did. I was really worried we wouldn't be able to get a start in this save and that we were just going to be stuck in the 10th tier for seasons and seasons upon end. But we have absolutely dominated this league, and there's just not a more deserving team to win this. Drink it in, lads. You've been amazing. Do your victory lap. I mean, there is almost as many people doing the victory lap. Actually, no, I assume there's some subs here as well, so there's probably as many people doing the victory lap as like half of the stadium. Look at these people over here. They are basically the only fans visible in the whole ground. Was it attendance of, I think I said 30, 32? Either way, very happy with that outcome. It was kind of inevitable it was going to happen sooner or later, but I'm glad it happened sooner. I would have been very annoyed if we'd lost this game, and then I probably would have just had to record the next match instead and not put this in. Still buzzing winning the Midland Football League 1. What else we got? Yeah, we're defending well, who cares? Why are people kicking off? Why are people kicking off? We've just won the league with 103 points out of the first 36 games. We've only dropped 5 points all season. And there's always some dickhead that's calling you out, isn't there? So with the first season drawing to a close with a successful title win, I'm going to play through the next few games and finish off the season ready for the next episode. We'll do a quick recap on it, but it's in the bag already at this point. So I think I'm just going to be mostly focused on the comings and goings. Even at this point, I'm recording this a little bit later. I think I'm about to play the final game of the season, but there has been quite a few outgoings both on the player and staff side. So we'll cover all those in the next episode. But for now, thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this first season of Chelmsley Town, and more of the same next season, hopefully. If you have enjoyed this, please do remember to give me some feedback, likes, comments, whatever you'd like. Let me know what maybe I could do better to try, or what I could do to try and fix this financial black hole I'm very rapidly falling into. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in the next episode.